Hello ladies, gents, boys and girls, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're back in the PMDG 737-800, flying as TUI Fly Belgium or JAF 99 Tango from here at Aerosoft Brussels, and we're going to be taking this 737 over to Mykonos, made by 29 Palms. Flight time of 2 hours and 55 minutes, cruising at 350, cost index of 60. We're going to be departing off of runway 07 right here in Brussels and arriving on the RNAV to runway 34 into Mykonos. Never been to Mykonos in the sim. It's quite a nice RNAV approach right over the island. So we'll jump into the flight deck, get everything set up, and get on our way over to the Greek islands. So, welcome into the flight deck. Let's start getting everything set up in the overhead panel. We've got GPU power on, so we're going to get the IRSs to the nav position. And then we'll put the outer fuel pump on, emergency exit lights and the crew chime. Window heats, electric and hydraulic pumps can come on now. And we'll get the packs to auto. Cruising at 350 today, so we get that plugged in. Get traffic and data on my side and terrain and data on the first officer's side. Left flight director, right flight director. And we'll jump into the FMC. We'll get GSX to start boarding now. And we'll go pausing it, next page. Oh, that's not there yet, so we go Echo Bravo Bravo Romeo. And we're on stand. Doesn't say, is the one above the, it'll be above the, there, 151. So stand 151. And we will ask for the tug to be connected. That's still not there. I did put it on denier. Might just take a while. As GSX plugs in the stuff there. Come on, where is it? There it is. Pop that in there and we'll go EBBR in origin. Request the flight plan from SimBrief. And we'll go over here and we'll pop in the fuel we need. Not that one, top one. So we need 11 tons to get over to Mykonos, and we'll load. And we'll get the APU on, why not? And the yaw damper. Seatbelt signs come on now as well. Activate that, execute. And 07 right's our runway of departure today. And we're going to go departures and arrivals, 7 right, and we're going to be taking the PT3 Victor. And we'll execute that, and the arrivals today. So we're going to be doing the RNAV 34, and we're going to be on the Agap 1 Papa, and that'll be via the, let's have a look at this. It looks like it's going to be the Bismo transition. And we'll execute. Legs. Let's have a look through this then, see if there's any discontinuities. So departure, slight left hand turn, and right hand turn away from the airport. Down we go, and then we'll get rid of that. So it's probably 2 Bismos, isn't there? Yeah, so we'll just take the 1 Bismo away. It's quite simple. That Bismo can be taken up to the other Bismo, and we'll just get rid of the Mykonos VOR, and then there you go, right onto the approach. That's how it looks on the chart, so we'll continue with that. Go in at reference. Actually, first, before I forget, we'll put some fixed rings in for the arrival. So we'll go runway 34. And we'll pop that in there, and we'll go /5/10, just to give us some visual guidance when we come in. Lovely. So I've got all the charts pinned already. We are here, and runway 7's heading is 069, so plug that into the heading there. And we'll get the APU on. And some conditioned air into the cabin, the SID. So it looks like a pretty simple SID down to pitters. So it's a right hand turn, max 250 knots, no altitude constraint at the moment, but it does say that the initial climb clearance is to flight level 60 or flight level 70. So we'll pop 60 in. And we'll keep that there, and that'll be our initial climb. And just read the... And that's all in the FMC correctly. So Hector to the Delta India Kilo VOR and then to Bitters. Everything's plugged in properly, yeah. And then over to Pites, lovely. We'll get the VOR code plugged in for the Delta India Kilo VOR, and that'll just give us some guidance after departure. We'll go in at reference route performance, plug the 0 fuel weight in, and let's have a look at the PDF on my iPad to see what the reserves we need. So our reserves are going to take us to LGAV, which is Athens, and we're going to need 2.9 tonnes of fuel left to get us there. We're going to be taking a cost index of 60, cruising at 350, and the cruise winds are going to be 278 at 31. We'll execute that. We'll go N1 limits. We'll jump over to the EFB and get berth calculator up. We're taking off a 07 right, import. So we're going to go flap 5, full takeoff, and 51. So let me just double check. Yeah, 51. 51, and we're going to actually derate the climb to 1. We'll take off flap 5. And we've got V speeds of 148, 143, 142. So we get 148 plugged in to the MCP. And the trim of 5.58, so set parking brake. .5 set there. And we'll have a look at the weather. So departing here, we've got calm winds, 22 degrees, 1010, no significant weather, and in Mykonos 17 degrees, 1012, calm winds as well. Nice day for flying over here in Europe. And that is everything set up. Right, so what I'll do is I'll leave you and I'll jump back in when we're ready for push and start. Okay, so we have got boarding complete. GSX is ready to push us back. We'll ask for GSX to begin the pushback, and we'll do our pre-departure checklist. So we'll get the TARA on, anti-collision light on, start switches to flight, and the packs can come off now. So we'll go tail left. And release the parking brake. And on we go. So we'll go engine number 2 to ground shortly. Everything's ready. So it's ground. And then we'll watch the N1 rise. When it gets to 24-25%, we'll throw some fuel in. fueling engine number 2 now. And that's coming alive nicely. Right, we'll get engine number 1 to ground now. Everything's started down there, there's no red bar, so ground on engine number 1. Set the parking brake. And here comes the fuel for engine number 1. And we'll tell GSX that that's a good engine start. There's the starter cutout. So we're just waiting for the bypass pin to be shown. Both engines have started nicely, and then we can do the overhead flows. There's the pin, so overhead, left gen, right gen, takes light on, OPU off, brake heats on, packs to auto, and lead off. Flaps can go position 5. We'll wait for them to fully extend. We'll blank the lower DU. We'll do a flight control check. Full right, full left, forward, roll back now for the rudders, full left, and full right. And we'll get the turn off lights on, recoils checked, parking brakes released, and on we go. Right, so about to line up with 07 right, we'll ding the cabin. Oh, wrong button. They've all sat down, we'll get the rest of the lights on. And get weather on at my side. Everything's nice and ready to go. And looking forward to this one. Love flying into the Greek islands. 20 runway here at Brussels. So we'll line it up and then we'll spool them. SID's pretty standard as well, nothing out of the ordinary. So we'll park it there, and then we just get comfy in the chair. 40%. Get the clock on. Stable, oil throttle and toga. Light forward pressure on the yoke. Speed's increasing. I'm just slowly feeding in that rudder. There's 80 knots, neutral on the yoke. I'm maintaining center line.
V1. Okay.
Here we go.
Positive rate.
There goes the gear. And we'll keep it on the 15 bar mark. I've noticed in the PMDG, really that flight director wants you to climb really high. Most airlines just go to the 15-degree mark. We'll make our first left-hand turn here. And at Brussels, we have to climb 3,000 feet before we can bug up. So we'll keep it on the 15 bar mark. It's a bit bumpy. There's 3,000 bug up. So we go 220 knots initially. And we're above the white dot. So we go flat one. To 240 knots, flaps clean, so we'll get autopilot 1 on, put it into level change. It doesn't want to go into level change, so we'll just go vertical speed, keep it 1,000 feet per minute, and have to take a checklist. Standard, landing gear up and off. Disarm the auto brake. Oh, we forgot to put the starters on to continuous. My bad. There's the 1,000-foot call out. And it's going to level off at 6,000. Lovely view down there of the Belgian countryside. Really nice ortho around this area. So we'll pop 350 in. VNAV should start climbing on its own now. Oh, gone a bit too far there. 350, not 4250. And N1, LNAV, VNAV speed. cabin crew can be released for service, and up we go. Pretty straightforward, Sid. Nothing too hard. It's very easy when you're flying the 737, isn't it? And beginning that right-hand turn. Match up the headings. And fast approaching 10,000. Standard pressure's already been put in. There's 10k. So landing lights can come off. Loading light off. Oh, not the other one. There you go. Seatbelt signs are off now. And that is it. So I'll leave you with some climb and cruise highlights, and I'll see you in the descent into Mykonos. Hello and welcome back into the flight deck. Sorry you joined me a little bit later than anticipated. I forgot to click the record button. Silly me. Anyway, it's about to get very intense very quickly as we're descending nicely with the VNAV path. We're going to probably slow down to get speed into VNAV and go to 30 knots, which is the next restriction. Clear that and we'll pop flap 40 is our intended flap setting for today's arrival. Order brake 3 sets, and that should get us nicely down on the ground here at Mykonos. Probably going to need a bit more braking. Full speed brakes extended. Mykonos is just over to our left. Flight's been very uneventful, quite nice. Bit of a weather about half an hour before descent, but we've clipped that nicely. Mykonos winds are very calm, and 17 degrees still. So, go around 3,000. Does it not have the same thing as the 777? No, okay, that's fine. So we'll set the minimums manually, which is 1,180 feet today. That's our minimum altitude. And start the speed brake. Set correctly, and we'll go to 20 knots, speed brake, and we'll go 1,200 feet, we'll disconnect before then, do a bit of hand flying, why not? Get flaps 1 out. Speed brake stowed again. And everything's set up nicely still. There's the island over off to our left. Again, the scenery is by 29 Palms. They usually do some fantastic sceneries. I purchased it, made sure it was installed correctly, and it's our first flight and have a look. So hopefully it lives up to it. The 29 Palms height. Their Santorini is really good, so this shouldn't be any different. So we'll get configured nice and early. So we'll go to 190, call it, and flat position 5, give us that extra drag, just make sure we're nicely on the path. Oh, I have the wrong QNH, it's 1012. Check that. Yeah, it's 1012. Okay. Luckily I spotted that then. Now turning on to final. Nicely on VNAV path. Thank God I spotted that QNH blunder then. Have a look outside. Beautiful livery this is. I forgot who the designer is, but it's a TUI Fly Belgium pack. Family Life Hotels. Brilliant livery. TUI do some cool liveries. I think TUI Germany had that Haribo's one, didn't they? The gold aeroplane. That's a cool one. Anyway, we'll pop 175 in.
$2,500.
There's the 25-foot 100 call out, so let's get the gear down to 15. Taxi light on, start switch continuous, camera crew have been briefed. Speed brake on, green light, and final approach speed will go flat 30, flat 25, sorry, and then flat 40, final approach speed of 140 knots. There you go, there's all flap. Configured nice and early, everything's stable. there's the runway. It's really short. Surprised Auto Brake 3 is going to do it today. I was expecting max, but Auto Brake 3 does do it quite nicely apparently. Coming up to the minimum altitude, which is 1,200 feet. So I'll put my feet on the rudder pedals and we'll disconnect the auto throttle, disconnect the autopilot, I have control, and we'll plug in our go around altitude, which is 3,000 feet today. Just noting that the terrain in front of us is quite high when we get lower, and we'll probably have some wind effects on final approach.
Minimums.
And continue. I'm happy with the picture in front of me. Yeah, I mean these approaches are brilliant. I love flying into the Greek islands.
1,000.
Just keeping up with that
500.
bit of a balloon there. Nicely corrected though, stable still.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Hold it there. Down we are. Speed brakes are out. Reverses are green. We are decelerating. Centre line. And that was a pretty successful landing in my opinion. Probably one of the best landings I've done in a while. Reverses are stowed, auto brake off, manual brake in, and made it to the end. Lovely. Well, we planned for a landing like that. Doesn't usually turn out the way you planned. And we'll swing it around, backtrack, so we get the flaps all put away now. I'm start the APU to spool. And we'll give it full right. Try and turn it round. The taxiing has got a lot better in the PMDG product line, especially in the 7th row. Still a bit funny with the turns, especially like when you're doing turns like this, like back taxis. But you know, it's doable. So we'll go for stand 5 on GSX. That'll do us quite nicely. It's a very small apron here. So we go stand 5, and we don't need to follow the car. And we'll go for Swissport. They can do our ground handling today. And this is our right hand turn here, so we'll slow down, and there's the stand right in front of us. yeah, tiny airport. That's why I like flying into the Greek islands. Cool approaches, small airports, interesting scenery, just makes it a little bit different. And now we're coming up to the summer holiday sort of period. A lot of holiday charter airlines are doing more flights, and these sort of airports around the world light up with activity. Stand 5 here, we'll slow down to an appropriate speed and turn in. So, there we go. And we'll get the lights off. Start switch can come off now, and we'll get the that light on. Oh, undershot that a little bit. So we'll get it to about there, and then we'll bring it in. Not my finest parking, this isn't going to be. I know the GSX profile's off, I can already tell. We're miles away from the stop marker, and he's already telling me to stop. We'll carry on though, and we'll call it a day there. We'll set the parking brake, and engine 1 and 2 off, and welcome down to Mykonos. So, welcome down to the Greek island of Mykonos. That was a very enjoyable flight. PMDG 737, being as good as it can be. It's a brilliant aircraft, and the scenery here, the 29 Palm scenery, is not too bad either. It's pretty nice. Just wanted to get one of these videos out of the way. Love flying into the Greek islands. A couple of you have requested some flights for me to do. They'll be slowly ticked off through the weeks as my work starts picking up again. So I'll be bit occupied, but I will get them out. Some interesting flights you guys have been asking for. If you do have any recommendations or anything you'd like me to fly, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again very soon in the next video.